Hi everyone. So for today, I'm going to continue focusing on the skills that you need if you are an executive assistant in Canada. And I'm drawing on my experience of how I got to where I am and my learning journey. So when you work here, first of all, the culture is different. When you come in the morning, don't greet anyone. Don't say, good morning, how are you? Unless you are somebody that has worked with them a long time. They think it's inappropriate and they think that you're trying to be their friend. So when you come in the morning, just go to your desk. Don't say anything to anyone. If you have a locker that you need to put your stuff in your workplace, put your things there and then just go to your desk. Don't talk to anybody. Log into your machine and then start your day. Because in Canada, they're very weird. They think we weird, but we think they weird. So if you greet them, if you say, good morning, how are you? They think you're trying to be their friend. So don't bother greeting them. Just get up, go to your work and go to your desk and log into your machine. If they greet you, then you can greet them. Don't greet them. Because then if you're trying to be assertive, they think you're overconfident. So don't bother doing that. And when we are executive assistants, obviously, we're not working isolated. We're not working in a vacuum. We have other stakeholders, we have other partners, we have vendors that we need to work with. So it's important to get to know in your company, in your organization, who are the stakeholders, who are the decision makers, who are the people that you need to go to get information. So for example, if you are planning an event, your company may have certain rooms that you need to book, and those room bookings may be controlled by somebody else. They may not be you. So in organizations I've worked in, I've had rooms that were designated to the executive I supported. And if people wanted to use that room, they would come to me and then I would tell them, yes, you can use it, or no, you can't use it. I would control the meeting room because that room was designated specifically for managing directors and above. So you need to find out who are the people that are controlling the rooms, who are the people that I need to go to get catering. Your company might have a list of preferred vendors that they're dealing with. Here in Toronto, some of the places I've used, they include places like Sheraton, the Rosti Group, St. Andrew's Club and Conference Center. So you would need to find out who do people speak to there. Or you can, maybe they expect you to pick up the phone and build those relationships yourself. But normally the executive will tell you, like, this is the vendors we use. These are the places we like to have our bookings. They may ask you to go there and check out the space, look at the room, see whether it's appropriate for them, because you become their eyes and ears in the office. And if there's any problems in the office, or if there's anything that needs to be brought to their attention, they'll be relying on you to bring that forward and to talk to them about it. The other thing is that here the dress is casual. So it's not like people don't go to work dressed in a three-piece suit every day. They might expect you for the interview to wear a jacket or to wear something more formal. But when you're actually in the office, it's business casual. So you're not expected to wear a three-piece suit every day to work, unless there's going to be a client presentation or something like that. As long as you look nice, as long as you're presentable, that's all they're looking for. As long as you clean, your hair's kept nicely, they're not asking you to, have something new every time to go to work. And also when you are controlling people's calendars, executive assistants are not just there to book the meetings, they're there to be relationship managers. So when you're looking at your meetings, you have to understand who is it that's important, like who are the most important people that you need at the meeting. And you have to be able to take the whole team into consideration, because without the team, the executive is nothing. The middle managers, the people reporting into that executive, are very important because they have teams under them that are doing the work, that are meeting the accountability, and they want to know that their managers who are reporting into them can come to you and can get some help sometimes. Not all the time, because normally they're quite self-sufficient. They want to book their own meetings. They want to be able to control their own calendars. But there will be occasions where they need some help. They have some overflow. And they might want to come to you to say, can you help me with this? Because, I'm stuck. I'm in a bind and I have other priorities. So they need somebody to be flexible. They need somebody who's approachable and who's going to say, yeah, I don't mind helping you. Let me see what I can do. The other thing is that here, unlike in other countries, they may need you to set up the room. So if they're having an event and you're ordering in the catering, they may need you to do the room setup. So to put the food out, to make sure it's presentable, to make sure that it looks nice, so that when people come in, they can just come in and have the meeting, and to do the tear down afterwards. So just taking the cups away and putting things back, they might need you to do that, because it's not like Africa here. You don't have people to come in to do the setup, to do the tear down, to serve the coffees and teas. You might have that if it's a special event or something. But normally, if you're working in that capacity, they want you to be able to do that. And normally, the executives I've worked with, they're pretty good. They don't expect you to just do it. They will come in and help. They'll help with the cleanup. They'll help with the setup, because we're a team. We're doing it together. And so it's important to remember that. And when you go into the workplace, to be prepared for that, because I know when you come here from places like Africa, you have a tea boy, or you have people that take care of setting up the event, taking care of the meeting, taking care of everything that you have to do. Here it's not like that. It's very different. And so especially if you're a young person coming up, you have to know what to expect, because it's not going to be the same as it is in another country that you're coming from. So I wanted to share those today on, integrating into Canada and integrating into the workplace here, because it is very different. It's very different compared to England or compared to anywhere else that you go to. And, even the taking things into account, like what is their priority? How can you save them time? What are they going to be looking to do? Because if you're saving them time and you're solving problems for them, that frees up their time, then they can concentrate on what they need to do. And you picking up some of that. But you'll also be given the opportunities to grow. You'll be given the opportunities to take on stretch assignments. There's a lot of project management that comes into the executive assistant role. There's a lot of coordination that you have to do between departments and between vendors. In my roles, I've also had to deal with accounts receivable, accounts payable, making sure that the invoices are coded, that they send to the right areas of finance to be paid. You might be asked to reconcile their visas at the end of the month when they have their expenses. They might give you all their expenses and ask you to reconcile the visas on their behalf. So you'll be acting on their behalf, and you might have your own visa. I've had situations where I've worked, where I've controlled my own visa or my own credit cards on behalf of the company. So it really depends on what their expectations are and also how much they can give you. In some situations, they might not be able to give you your own visa. So you'll be asked to put things through a system like Concur or another system that they're using. And it's just a matter of having somebody show you how they like to have things done. If they're traveling, they might want you to print off their agenda and give it to them so that they know when they're traveling and what time frames. And you'll also have to take into consideration if they're asking you to book a car to go to the airport. You can ask them, how much time do you need to get to the airport? What time do you want your taxi there or your car, whatever I'm booking for you? And communication is important. When you communicate and you're working closely with that person, so it's important to understand how they like things done. And because they'll be expecting you to go ahead and make decisions on their behalf without talking to them. They'll be expecting you to take the lead and to run with it. And that comes over time. Obviously, in your first month, you're not going to know what to do. And you will make mistakes and you will learn from them. And that's perfectly fine. But there are a lot of cultural differences that come into it. So don't be too friendly with them, because you'll get called into a meeting and you'll get told, we're not here to be your friend if you're working in Canada. If you're working in America, some of the Americans are more friendly, and you might find them coming into the office saying, hey, how's it going? And, they're more jovial, they're more friendly. It depends on the person that you're dealing with. But in Canada, they tend to be more reserved. And so you really need to get to know what is the culture of the people that you're working with. And that's something that I had to transition into here, because I was very friendly. And I'm friendly still, like even when I talk to my customers on the phone, they can hear the smile in my voice. They can hear that I'm a friendly person. And so it really depends on the person that you're dealing with. And each person you're dealing with is different. Each interaction is different. When you're on the phone, when you're in the office. So it's important to learn the culture here. But it's not easy coming from another country. And each country you live in has its own positives and negatives. It's just a matter of getting used to things and understanding how they do things. So that's what I wanted to share. And people do get to know you. Like Justin Trudeau knows who I am, because I did a lot of volunteering for him. And, I've sent emails to him for my volunteering, for initiatives in the community. When I went to the town hall, he knew I was there. So it really depends on the person that you're dealing with and how they like to get things done. And over here, it's different. Like the politicians expect you to come forward. They expect you to step up and to help. And that's how I have come to understand, because before I never used to go. And when we had our training, including for our volunteering, they used to tell us, no, you must come forward and you must set up the meetings, you must request the time, you must make decisions, and then we'll work together to find the next steps. So that's how it is here. And the culture plays a lot into it. It's very much focused in Canada on the work and the work that needs to be done. There's not so much a focus on your personal life and your health and all of that. They focus on getting the work done first. Yes, they'll try to accommodate you. They will try to bring in support systems, but all of us are there to do a job at the end of the day. And we do that job and then we get a paycheck at the end of it so we can provide for ourselves. But it really depends on the company. Not all companies have those supports in place. Not all companies have the capacity to accommodate people. So it really is in their benefit to accommodate people and to help people, because in the long run, it costs them more if they don't accommodate people and help people. Because they're looking at recruiting costs, they're looking at costs of getting resumes, the time to interview, the time to get somebody used to the company culture, the time that it costs for the training, all of those things add up. So it makes more sense for them to accommodate you and to have somebody who's been with the company that knows how to get things done. And sometimes they just need somebody just in time. I've had a lot of contracts here where they just need somebody for 3 to 6 months, or somebody's sick, they just need somebody to fill in for that day. The same as in England, I did a lot of temporary and contract roles because that's how they operate. They operate on a just-in-time basis. They don't operate thinking about, okay, who is our best workers and who do we want to retain so that our company can do better. So it's a very different culture compared to England, and it's a very different culture compared to Zimbabwe or South Africa. But that's what I wanted to share for today on if you're looking to get into that field. And this is my experience of what I have gone through and what I have found in the workplaces. And even in interviews, they'll ask you questions like that. How do you deal with the team? Not just the executive, but how do you deal with direct reports? How do you deal with people who are working remotely? Have you been managed by people who are your managers who are not in Canada? So you need to be prepared for those kinds of things and those kinds of questions and how you're going to answer them.